You did freak out on me a little bit in the DMs. So I wanted to pull them up, and perhaps you can read them just so I can better understand the tone, because maybe I'm being charitable here, but there was an interesting tone to it. So maybe in your own words, it might come off differently. Could you read these for us?
Yeah, so I'm sorry. I'm very high functioning autistic, so sometimes my brain gets on my tangents and I can't really focus on anything else. Let me see if I can get it done right now while I have a minute. It's weird you guys are so meticulous about this. Like, why can't you just schedule me to come shoot this shit with you? You obviously know I'm legit and have tons of things to talk about, no matter how you want to lead the conversation. I feel like that is why you are not leveling up. You are being too legalistic about things, and you need to learn how to read vibration over words and rules of the manifested or visual reality. To be honest with you, okay, I was on a savant mission.
Just keep reading. Go ahead.
FYI.
Go ahead.
To be honest with you, it's annoying to me you would make a woman like me go down a list and answer certain questions. I'm above needing to answer your certain questions. Just book me on your fucking show and let's go. I'm really only looking to work with or give energy to people who are totally in alignment with me. And if that includes you, then you are not going to waste my time making me answer some little stupid baby bitch list of questions that is made for other people who are clueless. You would be able to read my vibration and know that I am exempt from all this shit. And if you can't do that, then I don't really want on your show. Now, do I?
Wow. Okay, I'm a spiritual person. I have my own spiritual business, and I read energy and tarot and all of that. But like, I mean, I'm sorry, that's just a mean message.
Oh, oops! I don't know why Tate came in. Go ahead.
That is just, I don't know. That's pretty mean.
Crazy. Well, I understand. I totally understand.
You got to speak into the mic first of all.
I totally understand that it sounded very harsh, but you have to understand how many DMs I get, how much I get approached by.
But hold on. We did not DM you. You DM'd us.
I know. Correct.
I think most of you here, every single. Well, maybe. I'm not sure. I think most of you reached out to us. You all got the same questionnaire. You all filled it out without any quarrel or issue.
It's your show.
Right?
And it's normal
and it took you
standard.
What? How long did it take you? 5 minutes?
Not even 5.
How long did it? 5 minutes?
2 minutes.
I think you.
It's like 1
minute. Like.
Oh, like 3 hours.
Well, you sent a ton of stuff. She sent.
I would have been like that.
I have a place.
That wall of text that you sent me.
I just assumed you wouldn't have me on.
Well, the wall of text that you sent me, you could have just been a good sport and answered the same time it took you to send that wall of text.
I guess because I am not a typically presented woman, and so I try to make it very clear you're not dealing with a typical person. Are you sure you want to engage with me? Because
you think you're better than any of us.
I think I'm very different, and it's not for everybody. So I kind of just come off harsh. And just so you know, I knew nothing about this podcast.
Then why are you saying he's not growing?
I didn't know who he was. I didn't know anybody.
How can you say that remark then if you don't even know who he is?
I know you don't understand.
So whatever podcast is, no.
I made it clear. I was on a savant.
4.3.
Hold on.
8.
Well, hang on. Guys, hang on. Relax for a second. We can only do one at a time.
I was just a little confused there. I don't know. You mentioned that very early on in the episode you wanted to bring down the egos of men. I mean, don't you think the message you sent me is a bit egotistical?
Very full of yourself.
It was. And I was really, to be honest with you, I am working on some massive humanitarian work right now that to me is the most important thing. So I had a friend. What does that have to do with anything? It's just because of the way that my brain works. When I get on a mission, you could say, that's all I really care about.
I thought your mission was to sell your pussy.
Okay, hold on. You're is this what's called obfuscating? Hold on, let me make sure I'm using that word right.
I want to know why you thought that his
I didn't know him. I didn't know who I was.
Then
sending
why
that
would you
to.
say
I
that?
had no idea. That's I flow with it. I just spoke my truth. That's how I felt in the moment.
But
it was
not
really
based
annoying.
on reality.
Your humanitarian
I just
mission
assumed they're not gonna call me on the show. To be honest, I just thought
you
I'm annoyed
to-
right now. I'm busy doing this other work. I got a million things going on. Why are they having me answer these questions? I'm a sex and relationship coach.
Aside
It's a
from
dating
the podcast,
show. Do they want me on or not?
Do you expect everyone in the world to yield to you for every single
No,
problem
I'm
that
just
you
simply
have?
saying
Let's
if
go,
I'm not for
Maddie.
you, I'm not for you. That's all I'm saying.
Go
I'm
off,
simply
queen.
saying-
Go off, queen.
I feel very tired of being a people pleaser, and I just don't want to do it anymore. I don't
So
need
you have to
everybody to
be
like me. I don't
a
need everybody to
narcissist?
have me on their show. If you want to say it's narcissism, I'm okay with that.
Probably.
It's
But
mean.
It's fine, but I don't mind being mean. I get people mean to me all the time.
But it's how you
No, but
respond to it.
it was just like
And out of
And it was not
the
personal.
reason.
It was
Look,
not personal.
it's-
I didn't even know it was
I'm
going
not
to.
upset.
I didn't
Look,
know.
I wasn't
who it was
upset.
going
I was
to.
just like, I've maybe encountered, and we've had probably thousands. We've had over 1,000 people on the show. We've had probably multiple thousands of people send us DMs. Obviously, not everybody ends up scheduling. We don't always opt to schedule somebody, but I think I've had maybe one or two other women be divas over the whole. Oh my God! It's 10 questions.
That's so weird to me.
It was very diva-like, and
It's just because, again, I was on a mission mentally, and it was like, have
what
me
does
on or
that have-
don't have me on. I don't want to answer all these questions.
But
you spent so much energy
You're
on
from
that.
Los Angeles, right?
But to me, that wasn't a lot of energy because
Answer
it
my
was
question.
my truth.
Answer my question. You're from LA, right?
No.
Los Angeles?
No.
Well, you said you're from San Bernardino. That's LA County, isn't it?
No,
Corona,
it's San Bernardino
i.e.
County. And then
Okay.
Corona is Riverside
Did you
County.
ever did you ever have any ambitions to be an actress?
I mean, I did drama when I was a kid.
Have you ever been to a casting call?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
Have you ever gone on a job interview?
Yes.
Did they require a resume?
It depends on the job.
Have you ever applied for a job that required a cover letter or a resume or a CV? Well, wait, isn't that the same thing as a? Well, okay.
Well,
Have you ever?
Same thing.
yes, but this was not a job. This was something
This is
that.
a gig.
But I didn't see it as a gig until you guys actually scheduled
Okay.
me. That
Well, how
was me
about-
showing you my personality. You can take it or leave it.
Right,
You don't have to
but-
schedule me.
But you're confused as to why we would ask these questions. So we asked very
I
basic
wasn't
biographical.
confused. It's not that I was confused. That was me popping off because I felt that answering a cookie cutter list of questions to a person like me who's extremely complex. So no matter how I answer these, that's not the full truth. I guess if you just want me to bullshit for the sake of bullshitting, and I just
no,
wasn't.
but it was
question. He
basic
just
bio
didn't know
info,
you.
age, location, occupation, relationship
Yeah,
status.
asking your-
If you want to bring a friend, dating stories, dating topics, anything you disagree on, if you can make it to Santa Barbara and your available dates, I mean, those last two, kind of necessary questions
I
to
said
ask.
that, but I said, and then as we went down in communication, I gave you my. Obviously, I'm here.
Well, yeah.
Obviously, it worked out enough.
But so you said, you told me I need to learn how to read
I
vibration.
wasn't saying it to you. I didn't
Well,
even know who I
you
was
said
speaking
you.
to. I was venting to an
Okay,
Instagram
fine,
DM. I didn't know a face. I've
It
never
doesn't
even
matter
seen
who.
the podcast.
It
I have
doesn't
no
matter
idea.
who. Fine.
You never.
You have to understand how many
As-
dicks I
as-
talk to a day. I talk to
Wait,
so
dicks?
many
We don't know
assholes
you,
a day.
though. Like, how
I
are we
literally,
supposed
I
to
have to do
expect this of
business
you?
constantly all day. I deal with agencies. I deal with booking this, booking that,
You
flakes
just think
this,
you're
flakes that.
over here,
So
and
do
everything
I.
else is just we have
Well,
to bow
because
to
you guys have no
Solipsism, boys.
idea what I
Solipsism.
actually have to deal with.
You have no
Exactly,
idea
so
what
how do
they
you
have to
expect
do.
us
You don't know what I gotta deal
I
with.
only
You should see
reached
the
out
DMs,
because
bro.
a friend said you should go on this
Seriously.
podcast.
Okay,
Again,
so-
I've never seen it. I didn't know anything about it, and
Me
so I
neither.
wasn't really taking it
Once you
seriously.
looked it
I
up,
just
did you
thought,
realize
fine,
that
they
he
want
had?
Okay,
There's
but-
a difference between
millions
being
of-
not taking it
Stop.
serious and being disrespectful, though.
I didn't give a shit about who I disrespected. What do you
Clearly.
care if I disrespected you? You don't even know me. You don't even like
Because
me.
he's
Well-
a human.
What about
I
just
understand, but I
integrity and
understand.
morals
I get it.
and just
I
being
get it.
nice?
But I'm not here.
Where do
to
you get your moral
handhold
compass
everybody.
from?
Like a,
I don't go by morals.
just
Clearly,
your
yeah.
integrity.
I don't go by morals. I go by that was the mood I was in. I gave you my real self.
And that's
You
the
did not
problem
have to
with
book
people
me.
that are don't have a foundation.
Would
They're
you rather
literally
me
just-
pretend like I was a cookie cutter little sweet thing and then get on here and be
It's
this?
just to answer the
It's
damn
I
just
like
to
to
answer
be
your
real.
questions.
I told you
You're
I
not
would see you
understanding.
next
I am a
Tuesday. not gonna do that on here.
I am a and I'm not for most people. So I wanted to make sure that was clear.
She's not wrong.
I just have one last question for you on this particular topic. Are you on any sort because you believe that truth is a value? Can you just answer this truthfully?
Sure.
Are you on any sort of psychiatric drugs at all?
Like a pharmaceutical?
I think that was already asked.
Yeah, that was already
No,
asked.
I asked her. You
asked me.
No,
Yeah.
oh, wait, did I?
Yeah,
You asked me.
No,
and there
no.
said
I
weed.
don't think I got. Hang on. I don't think
marijuana.
I got an actual answer. Are you on any sort of SSRI?
No, I don't. No.
None.
No.
Okay.
Now, Nick, I don't know if you still have is it still like all set up or? Okay. You also said that, to be honest with you, it's annoying to me. You would make a woman like me go down a list and answer certain questions. I'm above needing to answer your certain questions. That's in the fourth message there. Just book me on your fucking show and let's go. Now, some of the people who tuned
Locker
in
room
late to
talk.
this,
It's called locker room talk.
well, it's interesting because you very harshly criticized me for.
It wasn't you again.
Well,
it
no,
wasn't you.
Hold on. Let me finish my point. So we had to restart the stream. Miss over here, who did a wardrobe change.
I'm sorry.
There
it was really, really, really cool.
It's fine. So there was a nip slip. So we had to cut the stream. We lost all the viewership. We had to restart it. We lost about 10 minutes. I was frustrated. I don't recall precisely what I said to her. I might have said something rude to her out of frustration.
You said, "Shut the fuck up."
You did.
Okay,
Yeah.
well.
It's okay. I
Sure.
I understand. I would
Cool.
have said
it.
the same thing.
I own it.
would have said the same thing.
Now, you got on your high horse in your ivory tower, and you wanted to virtue signal, and you threatened to leave. You threatened to, if this is how you're gonna talk to women, I'm gonna leave, and she should come with me.
She included all of us.
And you attempted to pretty much get all the women to leave the show. Admittedly, I did say something rude to her, which I apologize to you. I was frustrated.
And I liked you because of that. I liked your apology.
But it's interesting to me that your conduct between us in the DMs.
Okay, I'll explain it.
Hold on. No. Hold on. It's interesting to me that it's okay for you to behave in that way. You said, you're...
Because it was non-personal. It was non-personal.
Hold on.
But it's
The way in which you were speaking to me was, I would argue, about on par in the way I spoke to her.
I would say much worse.
Yeah, way worse.
Her messages?
Yeah.
I agree. The only thing I have to say is that, again,
So
I deal with so many fake,
the
like,
arbiter?
things coming at me
Okay, don't.
that I didn't know that you were even a human. I don't know who I'm dealing with.
Well, you think we have an AI?
I have no idea.
But
you
it's
would,
not.
you would be.
If it was Nick who was messaging you, I would be sitting here and saying the exact same thing. It's not about. If it was Madison, it does not matter. It would have been an agent, a representative of the whatever podcast, and it is me who handles all the guest booking.
I get it.
But I don't. It's not me. Like, you didn't know who you were messaging it to. It's kind of irrelevant.
Regardless,
It doesn't matter if it was me or Maddie or Nick,
It's
or if
true,
we were
but
paying
you have to
$10.
understand, I deal with people who are
Don't care.
not a human representation. They're
care.
just like a bot, basically.
Don't care, but I find it
lot.
interesting that you were virtue signaling at the beginning of the show.
You're right, and it's because I could feel her as a human person.
She wasn't even that bothered.
So
I
just
don't know.
because you can't feel their emotions, it doesn't matter?
Yes, because I deal so much in the virtual world, and I'm so bullshitted constantly that I'm just very
You have no
harsh.
empathy. You have no true empathy for people.
I actually do. When I
She
know
wasn't
it's a
even
human,
bothered.
for
You
example.
turned to her and said, "You're being."
I ruined his podcast. But I truly
I just thought-
appreciate you sticking up for me, but I also
I just wanted to
truly
make sure
understand
that we were
I just took
clear.
10 minutes out of his podcast.
You wanted to make sure that we were clear.
I just
that,
wanted to make sure that
So-
it was clear.
that
Let's not go there. With
But you
the-
before even getting on the show.
But again, I had no idea who I was speaking to.
Doesn't
I was
matter.
my most.
It
I was,
doesn't matter.
You guys,
I
you
have
to
the
understand.
messages. Okay.
No, I know.
I have
but
the messages.
I was calculatingly being my most aggressive self because I get taken advantage of a lot.
That's
How
not
is it
very
taking
pathetic.
advantage of you to ask 10 questions?
No, I'm just saying.
No. Answer the question. Answer. How is it taking advantage of you to ask you 10 like biographical questions.
Maybe
Because-
me
Hold
making
on,
a
hold
lot
on.
of
Let her answer. Let her
questions
answer.
made up for
Stop.
it.
Let her answer. Go ahead.
Because I just didn't feel like me answering those simple little questions were going to paint the accurate picture of who you were having on the show.
But do you think
And
there's a reason we ask those questions?
I do, but
Okay.
do you understand what I'm saying? I am not for everybody.
Do you have a
Clearly.
Well, I
podcast
think-
that has
No, no, no,
millions?
hold
of
on,
followers?
I think I do understand what you're saying, and let me kind of steel man the position. You felt like by answering those questions, it would have misrepresented
Yes,
what
correct.
it was that you were trying to get across, right?
Correct.
But the thing is that could it perhaps be cope on your behalf?
It was
that
not
you
the
were-
best
Wait,
way
hang
that
on,
I
hang
said
on.
it.
Let him
Let me
speak.
finish the question, please. Could it perhaps be cope on your behalf that you were terrified of answering those questions because you know to a reasonable standard that a person interpreting them may totally get the wrong idea of you, even though they're basic questions?
Well, no,
And
because
isn't
those
that
were
really
basic
cope
questions.
on you
It's easy.
and not on the podcast.
No, because listen, if you go down the list, it's very easy. I'm 38. I live in Corona. I am technically single or
then
divorced.
why so much cope?
Because again, I wanted to really, and I'm not justifying. I did do it I could have done it in a more polite way. You're right. I could have done it in a more.
So
but you guys, every
you were
time.
terrified that the answers.
No, I was
would perhaps
terrified.
be
I was
too
terrified of
revealing,
this.
right?
I was terrified that I would come to a situation where this isn't really my
You're completely
thing.
gaslighting right now.
Well, no, hang on. Listen,
No,
I'm not going to accuse her of gaslighting. I actually do want her answer to the question. From my perspective, what it appears to be, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're giving basic answers to the question and kind of the cope, or what I would consider cope, is, I'm afraid that you're going to get the wrong picture of me. Okay, that's fair.
Yes.
There could be a way in which questions are presented where we could get the wrong interpretation
It
or
happens to me
presentation
a
of
lot.
hang on, of who you are as a whole. I agree that that's true. But doesn't it kind of ratify Brian's position here that in DMs, you were ultimately very, very, very aggressive?
I was.
Almost like you were trying to obfuscate from what those questions meant.
Because I live in a world of sharks. And sometimes I'm in a mood, I'm dealing with freaking law cases and all these things. And judge me however you want to judge me. It's fine.
Law cases?
With the ex-husband, he beat me. I have to press charges in the whole situation.
Yeah, but why would
You're a
that have
victim.
anything to do with a podcast?
I'm not
That's
saying
weird.
I'm a victim. I'm just saying as
So-
a human being,
so-
some days I get a little
So
rattled.
So
and I'm
why
a little
couldn't
get
you
away from me.
extend that same courtesy to me when I was a little sharp with her? Instead, you wanted to put your foot down,
Because
be
I
the
didn't
language
feel safe.
police.
I honestly-
you
I
didn't feel.
didn't
Yeah, I was
feel
gonna.
safe.
I was about to go over there and just.
Is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke?
I was gonna go over there and just.
It's
and just-
emotional safety. I didn't feel emotionally safe.
What the does that mean? What does that mean? Emotionally
All
safe?
buzzwords just to get out of taking responsibility.
It gave her the
Yeah,
ick.
but I mean, honestly, I want to know.
I mean, I guess
what
that's a
does
good way
it
to say
mean
it.
When you say to Brian, answering your question doesn't make me feel emotionally safe.
No.
What
When
the
he
hell
said,
does that even
when
mean?
he had the comment to her, that's when I didn't feel emotionally safe. When he said, and I engaged, and I, as you described it, I was virtue signaling, you said. It's because it triggered me to be like, oh shit, this is what I was afraid of. I'm not safe here. That's why I tried to give them
wait, you
the
mean-
most
okay, hang on. I
ridiculous
just
part
wanna
of
make sure I'm
myself, so I
clear.
didn't even have to go.
Hang on, you mean at the beginning of the podcast when I pointed out that there could be something which was potentially detrimental to everything that this man has worked for, and so he was frustrated in the moment, and maybe he said something out of turn or untowards. But if I remember correctly, and I was in the back room listening, I do that. The gal who this was directed to said, "No big deal." Who are you to come in and advocate on her behalf and say, "Wait, she's way in the wrong," right? Or this type of thing. That's not really your concern. Who are you to come in and say and make this arbitrary judgment that a person who says something in frustration in regards to their entirety of their livelihood, which could be at stake, that they're in the wrong when the person they said it to
Yeah.
was forgiving instantly. Can you explain that to me?
Yeah.
I do appreciate her sticking up for me, but I do 100%.
And I think that that's totally appropriate.
Understand where
Listen,
he was coming
I think
from.
that I think that's totally appropriate.
And I
understand.
did
but in the heat of the
understand.
moment, she said, "Hang on," she said, "No worries, I'm not even concerned about it." You, on the other hand, made a big deal out
Because
of it.
I'm the person that
Huge-
all these
hang on,
women
huge
come
deal out of
to
it.
for help
But
after
who
they
are you? Who are you to do that? Who are you to do that?
I'm sorry,
Wait,
it's just where I'm at in
hold on.
life and the
I
work
want
that
her
I
to
do, and I deal with the traumas. Everybody comes and
Hold
brings
on.
me
I
all
want
of
you to
these
finish.
traumas that they never had restitution for. And
I
it's
want
things
you-
like that
That
she
is
might say
not
it's
your
okay.
place.
She's gonna fawn. She's gonna fawn in the moment.
Who
okay,
made
she's
you
not
the
weak.
arbiter
It's okay.
She's not
of
weak.
that?
You're saying she's weak.
I'm not saying that. I'm
Yeah,
simply
you're
saying
She's
literally
mature
saying that
and
she's less than
self-aware
you.
and just saying, let's move on.
And
It's
as
business.
as you saw, we were all able to kind of work through it. You
We were all
apologized. We
really.
took it down a
You
notch.
to kind of.
But
You-
we took
We
it
had
down
to
a
try to
notch.
calm you
I
down.
was friendly with you. I
hang on,
said I
hang on.
appreciate
You're fibbing.
your.
Hang on, you're fibbing.